the day Michael Jordan showed Kobe who's boss. In the history of basketball, there are games that transcend the scoreboard, matches that become living legends, where the court becomes a stage of respect, challenge, and greatness. Among those unique moments, there is one that is etched in the memories of millions. When Michael Jordan, the undisputed king of basketball, faced off against a young Kobe Bryant, the rising star looking to test himself against the greatest of all time. It was more than just a game, it was a generational clash, a symbolic change of pace, but also a lesson: Jordan still ruled. The beginning of a respectful rivalry. On December 17, 1996, the Lakers, led by a barely 18-year-old Kobe, faced off against Jordan's Chicago Bulls. Back then, Kobe was the rookie dreaming of emulating his idol, while Jordan was in his prime, leading the legendary Bulls. Kobe played just 10 minutes, scoring 5 points, but he dared to go after Jordan on defense, wanting to show he wasn't afraid of him. Michael responded with a masterful 30-point performance, leading Chicago to victory. From that day on, young Kobe understood. Facing Jordan wasn't just a game, it was a test of fire. The most memorable duel. 1997 All-Star Game. A year later, on February 8, 1998, at the All-Star Game in New York, one of the most iconic duels took place. Kobe, at just 19 years old, was a starter in the All-Star Game and didn't hesitate to challenge Jordan himself. "I want to defend him, I want to test myself against him," he said. Jordan, with his usual elegance, accepted the challenge and punished him with moves that seemed impossible to imitate: perfect turns, jump shots, and mental dominance. Even so, Kobe wasn't far behind, scoring 18 points and showing the world that he would one day take over. But that day, Jordan took home the MVP award with 23 points, 8 assists, and 6 rebounds. It was as if Jordan was saying, "Not yet, kid. I'm still the boss." Regular season matchups. In total, Kobe and Jordan faced each other 8 times during the regular season. Jordan won 5 and Kobe 3. In each of those games, Kobe tried to copy his idol's moves: the fadeaways, the impossible footwork, the killer mentality. But there was one thing only Jordan had in those years: the experience of having conquered everything. A 1996-97. In the first few games, Kobe was a substitute looking for minutes, while Jordan dominated the pace of the game. In 1997-98, Kobe grew in confidence, scoring 33 points in a game against the Bulls, but Jordan responded with 36, proving he still had more resources. A 2002-2003. With Jordan now with the Wizards, Kobe was the superstar of the 3-time champion Lakers. In a memorable duel, Kobe scored 55 points, but it wasn't against Jordan in his prime, but against a 40-year-old veteran. It was more a tribute than a rivalry. Jordan's message to Kobe. Throughout those confrontations, the mutual respect was evident. Kobe admired Jordan to the point of obsession. He studied him, copied him, challenged him. But Jordan never let anyone forget who truly owned the NBA. With every fadeaway, every impossible shot under pressure, every victory, Jordan sent a silent message: "I am the standard, I am the boss, and until I retire, you're just the apprentice." The greatness of both, but the clear difference. Kobe was a fierce competitor, a warrior who built his own legend, achieving 5 championships, 2 finals MVPs, and thousands of glorious moments. However, when we talk about who dominated their head-to-head encounters, and who made it clear that the top had only one name, the answer is simple. Michael Jordan was the boss, and Kobe knew it from the first day he faced him. In 1996, when Kobe Bryant arrived in the NBA at just 18 years old, the basketball world was still Michael Jordan's territory. Jordan was in his second stint with the Chicago Bulls, leading the way to his second three-peat. He was the epitome of perfection. 6 finals titles, 6 finals wins. No one could match him. But then a hungry young man appeared, with the audacity to look his idol straight in the eye. Kobe Bryant didn't want to be just another shadow in the league. He wanted to face the legend and prove that he, too, had the makings of a champion. And on his first opportunity, that December of '96, Jordan greeted him with a cold smile and a veteran's lesson. Kobe was a young fire, but Jordan was the mountain no one could climb. The first great lesson. Kobe wasn't content with being a promising prospect. He studied Jordan's every move, his fadeaways, his pivoting, his absolute control of court time. And in every confrontation, Kobe tried to imitate him, challenge him, even surpass him. But Jordan always responded with the calm of someone who knew he was on another level. At the 1998 All-Star Game, the world saw the direct clash, the apprentice challenging the master in the middle of Madison Square Garden. Kobe, barely 19 years old, asked to guard Jordan. The crowd was expectant, and what followed was history. Kobe attacked brazenly, Jordan responded masterfully, and in the end, he won the MVP. It was the first time the entire planet saw that clash of eras, the future versus the present. And Jordan, like a true king, made it clear that he still reigned. Every game, a test for Kobe. During the regular season, every time Kobe and Jordan crossed paths, it was like a test. In 1996 to 1998, Jordan faced him with superiority, using his experience to neutralize the young Laker. In one game, Kobe scored 33 points, but Jordan responded with 36, making it clear who controlled the game. The game of respect. Kobe 55 versus Jordan 40 years old. March 28, 2003, saw the final great chapter. Jordan, now with the Wizards and in his farewell season, faced a Kobe in full bloom. That night, Kobe exploded with 55 points, as if shouting to the world, "I am the heir." But even in defeat, Jordan accepted each point with serenity, because he knew his mission was accomplished. The torch was ready to be passed. That game wasn't Jordan showing Kobe who the boss was. It was the boss accepting the successor. The most epic part of this story is that, although Kobe tried his whole life to catch up with Jordan, he never denied it. Michael was the standard. Kobe said, "Everything I am, I learned from him. If there were no Jordan, there would be no Kobe Bryant." And Jordan, in every confrontation, taught him with actions that the basketball throne is not surrendered simply for ambition. You win with titles, with absolute dominance, with the ability to be unstoppable in the biggest moments. The legacy of the matchups. The 8 games between Jordan and Kobe weren't just statistics. They were chapters in the same novel, the end of one era and the beginning of another. A Jordan, the boss, the teacher, the eternal idol. A Kobe, the warrior, the apprentice who became a legend, but always with Michael's shadow on the horizon. In the end, Kobe achieved the impossible, being recognized as one of the greatest in history. But when they are compared head-to-head, there is one day that will never be forgotten. The day when Jordan, with his total dominance, made it clear to the young Bryant that before he wanted the crown, he had to learn from the one who created it. Reasons why Michael Jordan was better than Kobe Bryant. 1. Unbeatable in the NBA Finals. Jordan played in 6 finals, and won all 6. He never allowed anyone to beat him on the biggest stage. He was also the MVP of all 6 finals, a complete dominance. Kobe, on the other hand, played in 7 finals and won 5, but lost 2, and he wasn't always the best player on his team. In his first 3 rings, Shaq was the leader. 2. The Jordan effect, absolute fear and respect. When Jordan was on the court, opponents were mentally defeated. He had an aura of invincibility. Kobe was respected, yes, but Jordan was feared. Teams would change their entire game plan just to try to stop him, and still fail. 3. Superior individual awards. A Jordan won 5 regular season MVPs, while Kobe only won 1. A Jordan was the NBA's leading scorer 10 times, while Kobe only won 2. A Jordan was the Defensive Player of the Year in 1988, something Kobe never achieved. Jordan was the perfect combination, the best on offense and a defensive wall at the same time. 4. Immediate impact and total dominance. From his arrival, Jordan changed the NBA. Even in his early years, without any rings, he was already considered the best player in the world. Kobe, on the other hand, took a while to establish himself. His first titles were alongside Shaquille O'Neal, and it wasn't until later that he became the undisputed leader. 5. Relentless mentality and efficiency under pressure. Both had the famous Mamba mentality, but that mentality was born because Kobe imitated Jordan. Michael was the original. Jordan was also more efficient. His shooting percentage in the playoffs was higher than Kobe's, and in decisive moments, he always seemed infallible. 6. Cultural and global legacy. Jordan wasn't just a player. He was a global phenomenon. He transformed basketball into a global spectacle, made the NBA what it is today, and created an empire with the name Air Jordan. Kobe was an icon, but Jordan was a movement that changed the history of the sport. Kobe Bryant was an unstoppable warrior, a competitor who reached the top and defined his era. But when we compare them head-to-head, the reasons are clear. Michael Jordan was more dominant, more winning, more feared, more complete, and more influential. That's why, even though Kobe became a legend, he always acknowledged that Jordan was and always will be the true leader of basketball.